Aggressively pull our left knee to our chest, push with the right hamstring as our right foot back heels, and we flare the right knee to get his hips up in the air. Right from this position, we go hip and trap, okay? Now, from here, we are going to go in and start switching our hooks. As I switch my hooks, sometimes I'll need to assist with the right leg if I'm unable to get a good hook in. So sometimes maybe his leg will be straight, he's trying to shift out, etc., etc. We hook in, pull it, so that I can get a good hook. And I immediately lock a figure 4. Now, if I feel that I can't get to the trap and to the hip effectively to pull my partner up in it, sometimes he's really moving the low back and shuffling the hips to the floor. Good, here. And that trap is too far away to pull him up. Stay with the scorpion. And from this position, we're going to start hunting for our training partner's wrist. Your opponent will likely be trying to fight the hands and start pushing on you. Okay, a lot of times they're going to be looking to post on your throat to prevent you from building up to their upper body and keep you away from them. So we're going to have opportunities to go in and grab a hold of the wrist. Once we grab a hold of the wrist, we pull the wrist and we glue it to our chest. So we grab the elbow and the wrist and we just keep it here on our chest. And again, I'm looking to flare my knees out wide and keep my foot planted on the floor. Right from this position, I point my knees up to get his hips nice and high. And then from here, I stretch to push his hips down. Once I push the hips down, I keep the wrist and I start climbing up the body. So if I can't get to the hip and the trap right away, we'll go to the wrist and we'll use this method to climb up the body. Now from here that I'm up the body and I push his hips down, we can go back to the hip. We can take our knee up to my partner's top hip and I just pivot, point my knee down, and from here, we're ready to go. Okay? So that's just the process of finishing the Ashibolo. Like I said, there's a variety of different positions where you might go in and enter from that position. But just so that we're not touching on that over and over and over again, you guys already know how to finish the position once you get there. Next, we're going to be going over some more details and things that might occur in that Ashibolo position. But just for right now, finishing the Ashibolo. All right, guys, let's look at a drill now that you can do with your training partner, okay, just to kind of strengthen your ability inside that Ashibolo position. So we're going to start off. It's going to look a little strange at first. We're going to start off in a position where he's laying down, and I'm laying down beside my partner like this, okay? So we're laying with your partner's feet next to your head, your feet next to his head, and we're parallel to each other. And now from here, all we're going to do is we're going to take our training partner's near leg, we're going to lift it, and we're going to go knee to knee with our outside leg. So his near leg and our outside leg, and we're just going to go into here, okay? And right from this position, you could start off and just make it an artificial drill, where from here you just practice the skill of elevating your training partner's hips. Now he puts his hips back to the floor, good, and then we just continuously practice the skill, okay? And then you can do this back and forth for repetitions, whatever the case is. Practice switching your feet, good, and then going in for finishing your back take, okay? So we could go in and you can start doing that at first. Now, if you want to make it a little bit more realistic and a little bit more creative, what we can do is just start in this position and then lightly play the position. Because as I mentioned before, and we won't go a ton into this, but it is a topic that's very important for back defense. But there is opportunities for your opponent to start taking your back here, okay? And so if I don't do a good job here, my training partner can start looking to invert his knee, start stripping his hips out, and now from here, he creates the Ashibolo for himself, okay? Or he re-bolos me, essentially, okay? So what you can do, just to get really comfortable in that position and learn, because sometimes when you're drilling and you practice the entries, you'll do them slow and on a cooperating opponent. And if you get somebody who's very skilled and good at countering, when you go to do it live, if you don't really overemphasize these details here, you could get countered, okay? So what you could do is you start in a position here where we start here in this artificial position, and we just do a light kind of creativity drill where he's giving me a little bit more resistance than normal. I'm trying to take his back. He's trying to counter me. Maybe he's trying to pull me into legs, and we just play the position here. Sometimes he might get his hips to the floor, good, and I might lose it. Sometimes he might pull my leg inside, good, and I That's how I identify what I've done wrong in that position. And obviously you guys aren't going 100%, but you realize, okay, maybe he pulled my leg in. Okay, I'm not emphasizing the left knee enough, so I have to emphasize the left knee enough. I have to emphasize the left knee more. Okay, or from this position, maybe your training partner is able to re-bolo you. Okay, if he's able to re-bolo me, okay, I'm not emphasizing flaring the right leg enough. When he tries to re-bolo me this time, I flare the right leg more. So when he goes to re-bolo, it's tough because I put more emphasis on this leg. So these type of drills you can do, and you can just play that position. It looks a little strange at first because you guys are laying opposite to each other in a position that would never really occur naturally. But you start off throwing the outside leg over. The attacking person will throw their outside leg knee to knee on your opponent's inside leg. And then the knee is wedged here. And then you just practice. You can either just drill this position, or you can start playing a semi-live drill where he's looking to escape and take your back. You're looking to escape and take his back. And you guys just play in this position. Sometimes he might pull your leg in. Okay, you just use those reactions to identify what you did wrong. That's why you don't want to do it fully 100% resistance. We want to make these drills a little bit more creative, a little bit more playful, but it just helps you to identify what it is that you're doing right in that position, what it is that you're doing wrong in that position, and then you can start to play and build creativity in those positions. You can start to practice. The defensive person can practice escaping that position, et cetera, et cetera. So just a simple drill that you guys can do to strengthen your abilities in that Ashibolo position. All right, guys, so now let's look at how we can recover from a failed Ashibolo. Common issue with Ashibolo is if your training partner feels that it's coming, what they'll often do, we can just start off in that artificial position, is what they'll often do is I would like to elevate his hips and bring his hips on top of mine. And as we talked about before, I do that by pulling my left knee to my chest, stomping my 2 feet to the floor, and pointing my knee out wide so that I get this elevation. As you go and you hit that roll with momentum, however you guys do it from whatever position, your partner can plant their 2 hands wide on the mat. And as you go to elevate them, he plants the hands on the mat and he slips his hips down to the floor. And then from here, we lose the position. Okay. Now I have to be careful staying in here because as we talked about previously, he might pull my leg into some sort of attack or just re-entangle my legs. So the second that I see this kind of thing happening, we're immediately going to look to shrimp out, bring a knee inside. Once I bring my left knee inside, now we look to pummel a right leg in. So now from here, he doesn't have the ability to pull my leg back in. The moment that I do this, we're going to drag our partner's leg onto our hip. And from here, I'm going to go to a tight waist. Okay. The second I come up to this tight waist, we build up to our elbow. And from here, I'm in a good position on top to start attacking with angles and leg drag. Now, because I'm coming up from bottom, there might be an opportunity for my training partner to start slipping this knee in front. Okay. We'll look at how to deal with, we'll look at options from this position in a little bit, but just keep in mind that when you start coming up from this leg drag position from bottom, as you go to build height, if he frames on you and creates space, that's going to be the time we go to a knee and hip post. And as I go to a knee and hip post, now I can start putting weight on him, and we can go into the guard passing options that we have from there. We looked at a lot of guard passing options from a knee and hip post to force half guard in chest to chest half guard passing, but any sort of passing situation there, or any sort of option that you have from that knee and hip post, just make your training partner carry body weight and make them get yourself in a good passing position there, okay, with an outside camp. So whenever we go into Ashibolo, common thing that might occur is from here, maybe I make a mistake, or maybe this guy's good at timing it, and from here gets his hips to the floor. So from here, immediately, if you have the ability to pummel the foot in right away, good. Sometimes it's tough to do. There's just not much of an angle. So as we shrimp out, I'll bring the left knee in and use that to pummel the right foot to the inside. Right from here, make sure that we take this leg and we pull it onto our thigh. Okay, so that I can punch my left hand across as a tight waist. So we rotate. So once I get into this position here, we take the arm around and I make sure that his knee is inside of my armpit. and we come across to a tight waist. I start looking to build, and obviously I would love to go in and get to this leg direct because now I'm in a great position on top. But if I go to come up and he slips the knee, just have your hand ready and have your head low so that now you can start putting passing pressure on